Eta, ladies, gentlemen, and baby birds, and welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Uthapen Dragon, and today I'm going to show you guys how I farm and obtain Kuva on a weekly basis. This video is for the baby birds that just entered Steel Park and got their featherless wings on some rather crispy ribbons and want to roll them because they saw some nut job selling a G-roll torrid ribbon in the trade chat for the price of a house. But hey, as long as you have your G-roll, it's okay to be homeless. With ribbons being the most lucrative source of platinum and being absolute game changers for the people trying to cope with weapons that usually dwell in between the cheeks, I think it's paramount you know the most efficient way to obtain Kuva, at least in my own self-proclaimed expert opinion. As usual, towards the end of the video, I'll provide you guys with my tip and tricks that I use to make these farms less ligma and more efficient. Firstly, for the slower people in here, what is Kuva? Well, it's this piece of red dog doodoo you roll on a ribbon to get better stats on that ribbon, and it can be used to craft certain items. My weekly schedule for Warframe has me using 4 methods to get said Kuva. And the reasons to why I settle on these 4 methods is because some of us have jobs, and spending countless hours per day farming a luxury is a big no-no. And not only will you be farming Kuva in good amounts, but you'll also be completing other weekly tasks and farming other necessities simultaneously, making the farm more efficient. On to our first method, which will be with ribbon slivers. And yes, unlike you, these purple crystals actually serve a purpose. By taking these crystals to the Iron Wake, which is a node on Earth that will become permanently accessible after completing the Chains of Harrow quest, at the back right hand side of this POI and marked on your minimap as a feather, you'll find Palladino. This shady looking person offers you valuable items for the price of a few of your slivers. By using the ribbon slivers, she creates for you 2 ribbon mods for 10 slivers each, which upon purchase will become either a rifle, pistol, melee, Zor or kid gun ribbon, depending on the respective drop chance of course. She also gives you 150,000 credits for 5 slivers, and she gives you 35,000 Kuva for 10 slivers. And most importantly, she trades you this decorative piece that no one uses. The most common and less ligma way to get ribbon slivers is by killing a bunch of Eximus units that are above level 30, who have a 2% drop chance of ribbon slivers. Ribbon slivers usually drop in a quantity of 1, but their drop chance, along with the amount they drop, will however be affected by resource drop chance and resource boosters, farming frames, and Smita Kavat's charm mod. Out of the 4 ways I obtain Kuva, this is definitely the easiest, because not only are you obtaining a good amount of Kuva, but you're basically getting it for just playing the game. So that's your first 35,000 Kuva. Method number 2, we have Archimedean Yonta, who resides in the Zeraman 10-0. You unlock permanent access to the Zeraman after completing the Angels of Zeraman quest, after following the new War quest. This antsy person, other than a few decorative pieces, offers you another 35,000 Kuva at the price of 5 Void Plume Pinions. You can obtain Void Plume Pinions by either trading some of your resources with Yonta for a pinion that becomes available after every 8 hours, or more commonly from killing the dormant Void Angel in any of the Zeraman missions. But it has to be dormant. The Ravenous Angel in the Void Armageddon mode will not drop a Void Plume Pinion, but instead drops a Void Plume Quill and 7,500 focus towards your active focus school. The dormant Void Angels will usually be found in open spaces in the Zeraman missions, and upon killing them, you'll get 1 Void Plume Pinion at a 100% drop rate, 15,000 focus towards your active focus school, and a very small chance of dropping a Zeraman Arcane. One thing about farming Void Plume Pinions that might be a bummer to all of you lazy people that want stuff without having to do anything at all, is that there is only 1 dormant Void Angel per mission, which will require you to run 5 missions to obtain 5 pinions. But truthfully, this isn't a very long process, and as you continue running these missions and memorizing the different maps, you'll begin to find it a little more easier to locate the Void Angels. On to method number 3, and that's Steel Essence. This little Rubik's Cube of joy can be taken to Teshin in any of your relays in your star chart. And if you don't have a relay unlocked, my friend, what are you doing watching this video? Upon browsing Teshin's wares, you'll notice that he has a vast array of items. Some of these items are available every week, and some of them are on a 8-week rotational loop. The week 2 item is 50,000 Kuva that he'll trade with you for 55 steel essence. But we're not going to count that as my weekly Kuva farm because it is a weekly rotation. I just wanted to let y'all know so y'all can keep an eye out for it. What we are here for is at the bottom of his list. And this item is a permanent resident on this list. And that is 10,000 Kuva, which he'll trade with you for 15 steel essence. Oh, but Uta, that's so less, I can farm that anywhere. Calm yourself before you hurt the only brain cell you have left. He offers you 25 purchases of 10,000 Kuva, meaning for 375 steel essence, you're getting 250,000 Kuva. Now, before you start panicking on where you're going to farm 375 steel essence, I'll tell you. When you're entering Steel Path, there really is a lot of places that you can farm steel essence. But I'm going to cut it down to what I do for steel essence, and that is farming acolytes. Acolytes spawn in Steel Path missions between 5 to 8 minutes of you being in that mission. And upon being killed, they drop 2 steel essence at a 100% drop rate, along with a Steel Path arcane. The amounts of steel essence they drop are increased by resource boosters and Smitakavat's charm mod. As much as this is a rather longer grind compared to my first 2 Kuva farms, for me it's more than worth, because not only are you farming steel essence, but you're also farming Steel Path arcanes that you can either trade for platinum with other players or dissolve for Vosper in the Sanctum and Atomica for a chance of rolling more useful and rare arcanes. And because I'm constantly in the Steel Path Void Cascade, it's just an ultimate W. And truthfully, by using this method before the week is done, I obtained all the Kuva that Teshin had to offer. But if you're an absolute psycho that got both sets of Kuva from Palladino and Yonta and used up the weekly cap for Teshin's Kuva and still want more Kuva because you're greedy as well, this will take you to method number 4 that I use for Kuva, and that is Vitus Essence. You trade this cool looking earpod with the Arbiters of Hexus. These weirdos can be found in any relay in your star chart, and yes, you can visit them and trade with them even if they hate your guts. Upon browsing their wares, you'll find that not only do they offer some of the most important mods in the game that really give you an edge in your Steel Path journey, but also offer 10,000 Kuva for 25 Vitus Essence. But with them, you can buy this 10,000 Kuva an unlimited amount of times. Now, if it's not obvious enough why they offer it an unlimited amount of times because you're slow, let me help you with that as well. You see, farming Vitus Essence can only be done in one way, in one game mode, every 1 hour. And honestly, it really is a rather long and ligma farm. Vitus Essence can only be farmed in arbitrations. Arbitrations become available in your alert tab in your star chart after you finish the new war quest. And it is an elite set of Warframe's base mission types because it has certain modifiers that make the mode a little more difficult. You can either get Vitus Essence with a 7% chance as a mission rotation reward that comes in an amount of 3, or by killing arbitration shield drones that have a 6% chance of dropping 1 Vitus Essence. Really, DE? 1 Vitus Essence? 1 per drone? God. But the drop chance of the shield drone, along with the amount of Vitus Essence it drops, are affected by drop chance boosters, resource boosters, and Smitakavat's charm mod. And no, neither steel essence from the acolytes or Vitus Essence from the drones are affected by farming frames. As much as this is a reliable farm, and with the right mission types and equipment, can be a very efficient farm, it's still a Ligma farm. And truthfully, I leave this farm for the very end of my weekly Kuva farm, and hope that I don't need to use it, even though shamefully I admit I ran this Kuva farm a few times. And that will be a perfect opening for my tip and tricks that I use to make these farms just a little less dog water. At number 1, when you're farming any of these modes for the resources we've discussed, I'm pretty sure even though you're slow, you've noticed one variable that stayed consistent through all these farms, and that would be a resource booster. I cannot emphasize enough the amount of comfort and convenience this 40 plat will buy you. So don't be a cheapskate and buy one before running these missions. It really is a game changer and will shave off hours from the farm. Number 2. When you're farming for riven slivers, one of the best modes I keep an eye out for is in the daily sortie. Oftentimes you'll find a mission with the modifier being Eximus Stronghold. Not only is this mission perfect for leveling up your gear, but it's also a solid mode to farm riven slivers, because even after you finish the sortie, you can still rerun this mission as much as you want. Equipped with your boosters, scimitar and farming frames, you'll net yourself hundreds of slivers. Number 3. If you're farming Void Plume Pinions, the best way I found was to run the Extermination mission. Not only is this the quickest mode the Zeraman offers, but it also, in my experience, it is easier to locate the angel in this mission. If you want to maximize your efficiency, you can equip an Animal Instinct mod on your companion. With that, it'll be easier for you to locate and farm the other Void Plumes in the process, making leveling up your standing much more convenient. Number 4. With the new Omnia Fisher missions being introduced to the game, farming Steel Essence can also become the most consistent platinum farm in the game. My favorite mode for farming Steel Essence is the Steel Path Void Cascade, and with the Omnia version being available from time to time, you'll not only be farming Steel Essence, but also Arcanes, Prime Components, Entranti Lanthorn, Voidal Orbs, and a whole bunch of other crafting goodies. I will be making a video on the Cascade very soon, so make sure to sub and turn on your notice for that. Using this mode to farm Steel Essence is honestly way less ligma, and since you're farming some other necessities, it really is the most efficient way. Number 5. When you're running arbitrations, the mode I found the best would be the defense mode. Keep in mind, this defense mode is a little different from your usual defense mode. Instead of protecting someone in a capsule, you're actually defending a person that's moving around. And since he is slightly more confused than you are, protecting him is a little tough. The best way to do this is to find who he's attached to or who he's following around and make that person stand in a closed off room, which will greatly increase the defense point survivability. If you're running this mission in a pub lobby, you're in for a good time, because a lot of the fools have the attention span of a pair of butt cheeks and can't stand still for more than 5 seconds. So good luck with that. Since I know you can't count, with Yonta, Pelladino and Teshan, you're getting 320,000 Kuva per week. If you're using more than that per week, you, my friend, need more help than this video can give you. The reasons to why I didn't give you guys an amount of Steel Essence and Vitus Essence you can get per hour, because it will vary depending on the equipment you have for the farm. Keep in mind, the last 2 Kuva farms are very taxing and oftentimes are unforgiving. You can't just run in there with your baby bird guns and melees. You'll get your baby bird cheeks clapped. Instead, take the necessary measures into farming and equipping the right warframes, weapons and gear so that you're not a danger to yourself and a burden on your teammates. But if you'll use my tip and tricks properly, it will at least make the farms a little less ligma and more efficient. As you continue to run these weekly farms, you'll eventually develop your very own tip and tricks and what works for you. And that, my friends, is going to bring us to the end of this video. If you are going to hop into the comment section and argue that Kuva survival is better, my friend, please don't waste both yours and my time. Instead, hop in the comment section and give these baby birds some weapons and warframes that you used to carry you through Steel Path. In these videos, I give you guys the information that I've garnered after all my trials and errors to make your warframe experience just a bit more pleasant. And in order for you to keep up with all this information, all you need to do is hit that like and subscribe button. And because I know you're a cheapskate, I just wanted to let you know that it's entirely free and it helps me out a ton. If you guys are confused as always, let me know what you need in the comment section and I will reach out to you. But if it's a broader subject that needs more explaining, I'll make a video on it. Look at that. You thought you were a skid mark on the underwear society, but you might just be the inspiration for a video. I will be posting another how to do video soon, and as I said earlier on, I will also be posting a void cascade video afterwards. So make sure to turn on your notifications to keep you informed on that. And with that being said, I'll see you all there.